like texted me things like, well, you know, you can't fix stupid. Sorry, that doesn't work with me. Yeah, you're stupid because you're not thinking about the bigger picture. You're not thinking about maybe we did something wrong. Maybe we're not perfect. You know, it's like a relationship. You got dumped. America dumped you, and they're all like, you don't know what you had.
No, it's
yes,
not.
They do. They know what they had, and what they're saying is, we know what we had, and you're a mess.
It's a due to
Bill Maher's show is notorious for sparking controversy, but his latest episode took things to a whole new level. A fiery panel featuring Hollywood heavyweight Michael Douglas ripped apart the conventional narrative behind Kamala Harris's downfall, leaving viewers shocked from the start.
Because you see, in our system of justice, we believe that a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us. That is why when a case is filed, it doesn't read the name of the victim, it reads the people. And this is a point I have often explained to console and counsel survivors of crime, people who faced great...
They argued that it wasn't just sexism at play. Harris's lack of genuine support and poor communication were the real culprits. This fresh perspective turned heads instantly. What exactly did the panel reveal about the true reasons for Harris's failure? And how do their claims challenge the status quo in American politics?
Thank you all so much. What a Super Tuesday!
As the debate deepens, the discussion exposes uncomfortable truths by drawing stark parallels to Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign. The panel insists that voters prioritize competence over identity, hinting at a seismic shift in political strategy. Stay tuned to uncover how this debate might redefine our understanding of electoral success.
Okay, we have a two-time Oscar-winning actor and producer who narrated the documentary America's Birding, available on Apple TV. Michael Douglas, like I have to tell you, came back to see us. And he's Puck's chief political columnist and national news analyst for MSNBC and NBC News. John Heilman is here. And she is the senior editor of The Dispatch and host of their legal podcast, Advisory Opinion, Sarah Isgur. Okay.
On a recent episode of Real Time with Bill Maher, the panel featured actor and producer Michael Douglas, political analyst John Heilemann, and political commentator Sarah Isgur. Right from the beginning, the panel set a confrontational tone with Maher, known for his pointed questions and caustic wit, pressing his guests on why Harris's failure was attributed solely to her gender. They contended that focusing on discrimination conveniently masked the fact that her campaign suffered from weak messaging and insufficient voter appeal.
Your experience with intimacy coordinators. There it is. Now, if you don't know what it is, what is an intimacy coordinator?
Intimacy coordinators came along. The Me Too movement was to have, in terms of sex scenes or intimate scenes, have somebody there to control.
Michael Douglas, with his characteristic gravitas, argued that the issue was not simply about being a woman in politics, but about how Harris was presented and the shortcomings in her policies. The conversation dissected every facet of her campaign, from the timing of her late elevation to the presidential ticket to the incomplete information available to voters. The guests maintained that the electorate is not inherently biased against women. Rather, they are smart enough to recognize when a candidate does not have the necessary leadership qualities. By comparing Harris's campaign to Hillary Clinton's challenging run, they emphasized that electoral success depends on a blend of policy, personality, and preparedness.
For every 1% differential between what they are paying men and women for equal work, there will be a fine of 1% of their previous year's profits. That'll get their attention. That'll get their attention.
One of the most contentious points raised was the oversimplification of Harris's failure as a result of sexism. The panel argued that this narrative deflected from deeper issues: ineffective campaign strategies, poor voter outreach, and a failure to connect with the electorate. They contended that focusing solely on gender ignored the reality that Harris's campaign lacked strong messaging and a compelling vision.
Everything the candidates, especially the Democrats, do to get voters annoys them. The constant texting. Did you get?
Maher emphasized that voters prioritize competence and leadership over identity, while the public is open to electing women. The panel agreed that success in politics requires more than symbolic representation. It demands substance, clear communication, and genuine voter appeal.
As the strongest Democratic opposition leader in the next Trump era. Oh, well, that's a good question. I mean, like Adam Schiff, he won right big.
He won, but I like Wes Moore.
Wes Moore's fantastic. He's in Maryland.
Yep.
But who's going to be the one? Gavin Newsom we have here in this state. He's already called.
As the debate intensified, the discussion naturally shifted to the broader implications of relying on identity politics. The guests argued that although identity can be an asset, it should not be the sole determinant of electoral success. They urged the Democratic Party to rethink its strategy by investing more in developing candidates with strong communication skills and robust policies, rather than overemphasizing superficial identity markers. The panel noted that successful campaigns are built on long-term strategy, allowing candidates time to connect with voters, a strategy that was sorely lacking in Harris's campaign.
Well, I'm obviously not Joe Biden. And, I offer a new generation of leadership. And so, for example, thinking about developing and creating an opportunity economy where it's about investing in areas that really need a lot of work.
The panel also highlighted the critical mistake of Harris's late elevation to the presidential ticket. They argued that this rushed push left voters with little time to become familiar with her policies or build the necessary trust. Maher pointed out that effective campaigns require a well-planned, long-term approach, something that was missing in this case. The rush decision not only confused voters, but also contributed significantly to the campaign's overall failure.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. It's so important that everybody.
Central to the panel's argument was the importance of effective communication. They contended that recent failures of female candidates, including Harris, were partly due to poor messaging. Voters are more likely to support candidates who can clearly articulate a coherent vision for the future. Maher stressed that while identity matters, it cannot substitute for the competence and ability to engage the electorate. The emphasis on identity politics, the panel argued, had overshadowed a critical evaluation of candidates' qualifications and policies.
You know what? Let me say something about this. We're here because we're fighting for a democracy. Fighting for a democracy. And understand the difference here. Understand the difference here. Moving forward. Moving forward. Understand the difference here.
The discussion served as a wake-up call for the Democratic Party, urging a reassessment of its approach to candidate selection and campaign strategy. The panel argued that relying solely on identity as a selling point is no longer enough. Instead, political parties must focus on developing candidates who are well-prepared, can effectively communicate, and have strong policy proposals. Without this shift, the party risks alienating a growing number of discerning voters who demand substance over symbolism.
I'm not good enough for anymore because I'm just too concerned. Bill, stop making jokes about Biden's age. You're going to help Trump. Right. Like if I didn't mention it, no one would have noticed. All right, we got to go. Thank you very much. Michael Douglas, thank you for joining us. What a nice surprise. Okay. Oh, I forgot to plug my book. Oh, well.
The debate on Maher's show has sparked widespread discussion on social media and in traditional news outlets. While some viewers praised the panel for cutting through the noise of identity politics, others felt that emphasizing gender was crucial for addressing historical inequalities. However, the prevailing sentiment is that political narratives should shift toward practical issues like policy and leadership. The conversation has forced viewers to confront the reality that electoral success depends more on competence and communication than on identity alone.
Nobody ever gets canceled for being too woke. So you can say the craziest thing, like men can have babies, and then nobody will, even though people are thinking, well, that's kind of nuts, nobody will say it. They'll just fall in line. Yeah, exactly. That's what I've always thought, men can have babies, sure.
I saw a dude who was glowing yesterday. You know, I mean, and that's the problem.
And it's totally insane.
Cowardice.
Yes.
Bill Maher's latest episode has ignited a crucial debate about the role of identity in politics and the importance of genuine leadership. As the discussion over Kamala Harris's campaign and the future of female candidacies continues, one thing is clear: voters are tired of superficial narratives and are demanding real substance and effective communication from their leaders.
Nominee. If former President Trump is convicted in a court of law, would you still support him as your party's choice? Please raise your hand if you would.
What do you think? Should political parties shift their focus from identity politics to building truly competent leaders, or do you believe that identity still plays an essential role in modern elections? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed watching this video, then please like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.